Hello, scholars. Reading Coach Carter here. Hey, I want to teach a lesson. The objective of the lesson, we're going to get right into it. Scholars, by the end of this lesson, you will know how to identify similes and metaphors in a text, understand the difference between similes and metaphors, and also be able to write using similes and metaphors. Now, I want to go into the definition of a simile and metaphor. Some of you probably remember that word from previous grade levels. So a simile is a comparison of two different things using the words like or as, and a metaphor is a comparison that does not use the words like or as. And I think I can show you in a way that you can remember that's kind of fun. Yeah, I brought a beat. I did that, yes. Simile, simile. Yeah, I like this beat. I think I can teach you it. Let's say simile together. Simile, simile. Say it again. 1, 2. Simile, simile. And metaphor, metaphor. Metaphor, metaphor. Let's say that together. 1, 2, ready, go. Metaphor, metaphor. Again. 1, 2, ready, go. Metaphor, metaphor. I think I can go ahead and say it in a way that you can remember it. So I have around. So simile, remember we're comparing using like or as. So I'm going to compare myself to a lion. Two different things. And I'm going to use that comparison just to say how brave I am. I'm also going to compare myself to a pig to show you how hungry I am. Y'all ready? All right, let's go. I'm as brave as a lion means I keep on trying no matter what comes my way. I'm as hungry as a pig means I'm really, really hungry and I'm not trying to throw any shade. Okay, I don't have a problem with pigs. I'm just saying, you know, when we see pigs, you know, we see them eating a lot. And so as hungry as a pig, I'm trying to tell you how hungry I am instead of just saying I'm hungry. As brave as a lion, when we see lions, we know that lions are brave, they're courageous, and so I'm just trying to express how brave I am. So that was my simile. Metaphor, metaphor. I think we can go into metaphors now, right? You ready? Metaphor, metaphor. Say that with me. 1, 2, ready, go. Metaphor, metaphor. And remember when we do metaphors, we compare things, two different things, and we're not using the words like or as. It's just a direct comparison. So I think we can go ahead and turn it around with a different sound, and we can go ahead and try to see how it looks like when we compare two different things using the metaphor. Turn it around with a different sound. I like that. Let me try it. He's a lion means he keeps on trying no matter what comes his way. She's a pig means she's really, really hungry, and I'm not trying to throw any shade. But hey, I don't have problems with pigs at all. I'm just saying they eat a lot of food. Great comparison when you're trying to say that someone is hungry. Scholars, that was fun. So we went ahead and we talked about the difference between a simile and a metaphor. Now let's look at this sentence. You are a shining star. Is that a simile or a metaphor? My thoughts are, well, it doesn't have the words like or as. It is comparing two things. It's comparing like you, which is a person, to a shining star. They are comparing two different things, and they're really just trying to say this person is standing out, this person is outstanding, is amazing. And so I know it's a metaphor because it's comparing two different things and it's not using like or as. And let me go ahead and look at the second sentence. She is as busy as a bee. Okay, she is a girl, is being compared to a bee. I know that's a simile because it says she is as busy as a bee. And so definitely using the word as to compare a girl to a bee. And so I know that would be an actual simile. Scholars, let's go ahead and practice. Is this a simile or a metaphor? Staying inside all day was like being in prison. If you think it's a simile, clap 1 time. If you think it's a metaphor, clap 2 times. Let me give you a chance to think. Simile, 1 time. Metaphor, 2 times. On 3, go. Okay, simile. It says staying inside was like, so you should have clapped. Staying inside all day is like being in prison. You're comparing a person to staying inside of a house to a prison. And so we're just trying to say that staying inside all day is not pleasant. And so that was a simile. Are you ready? Let's do another one for practice. Life is a stage and we are all actors. simile or metaphor? Let me give you some time, to just a couple seconds to think. Clap one time if it's a simile, 2 times if it's a metaphor. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so life is a stage and we are all actors. How many times did you clap? I said 1 time for simile, 2 times for metaphor, so you should have clapped 2 times because that was actually life is a stage. We are all actors. We're not using the words like or as, and we're just trying to say that sometimes in life it's almost like we're acting all day long, but we're just not being recorded. Like we're on the stage, like we're always performing, we're always doing, and a lot of times, you know, people capture that on YouTube. Life is a stage. We are all actors. So it's just comparing life to almost like in life, it's like almost like we're actors. It's almost like we're really always being watched. We're always doing things as if we could entertain each other. Let's try another one. So simile or metaphor. Sam's room looks like it was hit by a hurricane. Hey, let's clap 1 time if it's a simile, 2 times if it's a metaphor. Sam's room looked like it was being hit by a hurricane. All right, let's clap. 3, 2, 1, clap. What did you do? Did you clap 1 time? Was it a simile, or did you clap 2 times? Was it a metaphor? Sam's room looked like we're actually using like or as, like, right? It looked like it was being hit by a hurricane. So we're comparing his room to a hurricane. And I hope that none of your rooms looks like it was hit by a hurricane. Instead of saying, you know, Sam's room is messy, we're comparing his room to a hurricane, trying to bring out like a visual image of how messy Sam's room is. And so we're using like that would be a simile. One more. The rabbit was white as snow. Simile, metaphor, 1 time, clap. If it's a simile, 2 times if it's a metaphor. Give you some seconds to think. 3, 2, 1. You should have clapped 1 time. Look, rabbit, the rabbit was white as snow. Simile, using like or as to compare 2 different things. A rabbit is being compared to snow. So simile, definitely just trying to express how white the rabbit was, given that visual. So you did a great job of doing some practice rounds. So scholars, we did that together. Now it's your turn. Let me give you a couple seconds. Write a metaphor describing someone in your family as an animal at mealtime. And then I want you to write a simile comparing a lion's roar to another sound. So I want you to go ahead, pause the video, and I want you to write these 2 sentences. Go ahead and refer to this part of the video, and then I want you to come back when you're ready. Go ahead and press pause and complete those 2 sentences. Well, welcome back. Hopefully you pressed pause and wrote your sentences. Well, I wrote my samples, metaphors. That's when I don't use like or as, and I'm going to describe a family member at mealtime. He's a snail. I'm just saying at mealtime, my brother eats really slow. So I said he's a snail, comparing my brother to a snail because they're both slow. And at the dinner table, he's a slow eater. She's a pig. We talked about that earlier. It just means, oh my God, she's eating really fast. And then my similes, write a simile comparing a lion's roar to another sound. He laughs as loud as a lion. So I use the word as to compare him to a lion, a boy to a lion, to explain how loud his laugh was. The TV is as loud as a lion. I wanted to, you know, explain how and express how loud that TV was. All right, let's go ahead and do some practice work. You, in the previous lesson, you read step by step. I want you to underline the metaphor in this paragraph. I'll read the paragraph and I'll let you press pause to find the metaphor. So the train rolled on all day long to the song of the metal against the tracks. The blur of the towns and the villages moving past my eyes. I wasn't going to get to Washington until around 8 o'clock that night, and I told the porter that I would be glad to work if he needed anyone to help him. Go ahead and press pause. There is a metaphor that I want you to look for. I want you to see if you can locate it. So press pause and see if you can find a sentence that has a metaphor. Okay, so gave you some time to press pause and welcome back. If you underline to the song of the metal against the tracks, the metal against the train tracks, they don't make a song. It's just trying to give you this image of the sound that she's hearing when the train rubs against the railroad tracks. It's almost like a beautiful song or a song that she's listening to. And so that was the metaphor. Let's try another one. When the train pulled into Washington, I had never seen so many lights. It was like the world was on fire. As I gathered my stuff, the porter asked me again if I wanted the train job. Okay, so scholars, we just found a metaphor. Let's see in this part of the passage if we can find a simile. So go ahead, look and see if you find a comparison of two different things using the word like or as within this passage. Press pause, see if you can find it, and then come back and join me, and we'll see if you have the correct answer. Welcome back. So if you press pause, you went ahead and you identified the sentence. It was like the world was on fire. So when the train pulled into Washington, I'd never seen so many lights. So these lights were so bright, it reminded her of like the world being on fire. So she's actually comparing like the fire or actual fire to the amount of light that she was seeing. And so it brings forth this imagery that makes it a little more interesting, exciting, and expressive for the author, and then exciting for the reader to be able to read. So those were our two ways that we identified similes and metaphors just within the reading that we did in the previous lesson. So readers, I had an awesome and amazing time with you. Remember that simile is a comparison of two different things using words like or as, and a metaphor is a comparison that does not use like or as. So I hope that in this lesson, you're able to identify metaphors, similes and metaphors, and understand the difference between similes and metaphors. And you also had a chance to write using similes and metaphors. So, hey, scholars, I want to challenge you to go out when you're reading today and every day. I want you to see if you can find similes and metaphors in your readings, those comparisons that bring out this imagery that makes writings, the writing more interesting and fun to do, and readers can enjoy what they're reading. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Enjoy the rest and go ahead and continue on to the next lesson, and maybe I'll see you again soon.